We've bought each other 150-mile-an-hour cars for £1,500. We've got no idea what car we've bought each other. We're going to reveal them to each other, inspect the cars to see what's wrong with them, run them on a dyno to see how much power they make, and even drag race them to see which is faster. And here's Will in my car now. Oh, Will! No, man!
Chrysler Crossfire, 3.2 manual, rear-wheel drive. You own an M3, and this is a fraction of the cost. Our budget was £1,500.
Hold on, these go for like 2 or 3 grand.
Yeah, this was £1,300.
How, what? What's
MOT,
wrong with this?
Long MOT, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's got a new aftermarket exhaust at the back, so it sounds fruity as heck.
How fast do these go?
This is 155 miles an hour. So I've given you 5 over what you need. I've done you a favour, and I'm expecting the same in return.
Right, well, your car, I've gone back to your roots for it. Would you like to see it?
Yes, please.
Here we go. Let me go get it.
Back to my roots. It's going to be something British car scene modified. I'm hoping for a Focus ST, but that's not what I'm hearing. Wow! Now that is a car.
Your humble steed, the Vauxhall Zafira GSI. So, I went to your roots. You're a Ford man, right? How many Focus STs have you owned?
2 Focus STs, 2 RSs.
Focus STs, they're bright in colour. They're usually modified. They're a staple of English culture. The same for this old girl.
This is the thinking man's. This is the man who's got maybe 8 kids.
9, 10.
Top speed?
So a Zafira VXR will do 149.1.
This isn't a Zafira VXR.
No, it's a GSI. It's 137.
Right. So I've given you 5 over, and you've made me 13 under.
But there is a reason for this, because this car is no standard Zafira GSI. What I've bought you is a forged engine Astra VXR Turbo Zafira GSI. The seller claims 285 horsepower.
285?
It was done by a very reputable shop. His friend's dad.
I've heard of them.
Yeah,
I've heard of
his
them.
mate's dad.
Yeah. How much was it? Because these are normally a lot more.
2 grand odd for a standard one. This is not a standard one. I paid 1,500 quid for it.
What? So there's something wrong with it then?
There's some things wrong, but it does run, it has MOT.
I feel bad.
You should. I have to drive a Crossfire.
Let's have a quick drive, and then let's have someone who knows more than us have a look at it.
This is the issue with this challenge. Will and I know each other far too well. He knows how much I hate these, and it's twofold, because I'm not a Mercedes man and I'm not a Chrysler man. And this is both. This car, underneath, is a 90s Mercedes SLK, by Chrysler, to be this dog having a shit looking awful machine. And I hoped that I would get away with never, ever having to drive one. And here I am. The only thing that I can give Will credit for is the fact that he bought me a manual. It's not a nice manual, I'm stirring porridge in here. It's also got what appears to be some form of butt plug gear knob. It's awful.
I cannot believe Edwin has bought me one of these. I'm a Ford man, I'll be real, and normally you're either Ford or you're Vauxhall. But these are just interesting. 7 seats, 2-litre turbo, tunable as well. This one's meant to be 285 horsepower. Like, what? I have lots of warnings on the dash. The interior is horrible. I've got a very, very blue pillar there with a boost gauge, which I think works. But for £1,500, and apparently this is forged by a man's dad, but what am I going to do? It sounds like it has 800,000 horsepower. That turbo sounds like it's like that. It's going...
In the Crossfire, I had something to admit about how I got Will's Zafira for so cheap. Now, I said that I got this car for 1,500 quid, and I did. It was first listed for £2,600, the seller then dropped it to £2,100. I was on the way to go and look at this car. There was nothing in the listing about it being crash damaged. I did a car vertical on it. It had been written off as a Cat N in 2019. Now, when I looked around the car, I gave the seller every opportunity to tell me about it, and they didn't. There was nothing in the description. He didn't explain it. I had to ask him if he knew about the damage. And when I did, he said, yeah, there's a Cat N. So if I hadn't have done that check, I would have had no idea, and I would have paid more than I should have for the car. But because we did one, I offered him 1,500 quid and didn't budge, and he took it.
Zafira GSIs like this were owned by a very particular type of human being?
They tended to wear bucket hats and wear England shirts, maybe even had a bulldog tattoo, a wife named Sharon maybe.
He's a man who wants performance, but he also wants to house 5 kids in his car.
When our friend, let's call him Dave, had too many kids, he couldn't fit them in the Astra GSI or the Astra VXR anymore, so he had to get a 7-seater. So the Zafira GSI, that's where it came in.
Bright blue as well, look, boost gauge and everything. This is a man who wants to balance performance, practicality.
You have to have it with a big silicone filter, making lots of turbo noise. That is liquid GSI owner.
Ibiza on the weekend, maybe a bit of clubbing, maybe some recreational.
Will fits in.
But I'm about it.
He is a GSI owner. I'm not a Crossfire owner. They're swapping keys at parties. They're wife sharing. Not only was I not a fan of the image the Crossfire painted me in, I also wasn't a fan of its design flaws. Cup holder. Look at the window. Cup holder. Cup holder is right underneath my elbow, so every time I go to change gear or do something, it opens up. Stop doing that.
How's your arm just resting there? Is it nice?
I'm gonna delete this center console and drive with nothing in a minute. Yes, you piece of shit. My cup holder was a big issue, but Will's list of problems was slightly longer.
My headlight light is on,
That's
my
on.
coolant light is
That's
on.
on.
I've got a car with a spanner on it. I've got
That's
check
on.
oil level on the dash.
That one comes up.
I've got a knock from the front, I've got a knock from the back.
Back as well, yeah. So he hasn't yet found out that it doesn't go up to temperature.
Also, it never gets up to temperature ever. Great.
It's a small list, he can fix it.
What Edwin has given me is a very fast and very broken block of cheese.
Issues I've got, it's a Chrysler Crossfire.
To see what issues both of our cars were hiding, we took them back to the unit where our resident mechanic Josh was waiting to give them a once-over, and my Zafira started off strong.
There we go, out we come.
Oh, she's barely touching. She's not even on the first mark.
A dash of oil.
1.5 litres of oil.
There's no coolant in it.
On the dash it says check the coolant, it says check the oil, something to do with the headlights.
Well, they're there.
Yeah, they're still there, so that's fine.
This should probably be attached. You're sucking in a lot of unmetered air there.
It's build quality issues, but it's fine because this engine is forged. The guy who owned it, it was his mate's dad.
Was he called Dave?
Quite possibly.
Have you got any pictures of the bits in the engine?
I do, yeah, sure, I've got photos. Wasner pistons and rods.
Ooh.
And those are good parts.
Any bigger turbo?
It has an Astra H turbo.
VXR.
Oh, all the power then.
With the initial walk around not going well, Will found out about his Bluetooth bumper.
I tried to pull this out and I pulled the bumper off.
There you go.
It's got a coilover of some brand. Oh, it's got a JOM.
It's Joms!
It's a Joms!
Yes! Joms are the worst coilover known to man.
The suspension's not attached at the top.
That's bad.
At high speed, would that be an issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Those discs don't look too healthy and there's not much pad. This gone. But the calipers are blue. It's got a Maxxis on the back. Don't they make bicycle tyres?
Yes, I used to have that on my BMX.
But the discs are completely shot. The rear's pretty solid and attached, unlike the front. You've got the lightweight pack, the missing lug stud.
Do I need that?
Yes. We've got 4 different tyres, all the brakes are shot. Front suspension is slightly attached. No oil, no coolant. It's going well.
The underneath will be better.
The underneath wasn't better.
I think that's where your oil's coming from. The sump gasket is... Someone's obviously cross-threaded that and just put a bolt through that's not even tight. So your oil's probably falling out of there. That's gearbox oil, so it's falling out of there as well.
So far, everywhere that can leak is leaking.
Yes.
It's also leaking from the oil filter.
Oh, it's not a good start, is it? Going down the car, they're loose, but still attached.
This is interesting. Oh,
Because of your mad lows, bruv. You've been hitting the floor.
basically he's just been absolutely sending it absolutely everywhere, speed bumps and otherwise.
Yes.
Is this not you when you were 18?
Yeah, probably upside down, actually.
CVs and tech.
CVs are an issue on the other side. He's had to do a new CV Gator because the axle is dying, so that's why it's clicking.
So should I buy one of those?
I think you probably will need that.
It's probably easier just to replace the whole thing, yeah.
And then Josh made a really scary discovery.
Oh, your alternator belt is polishing the oil line into the oil filter housing. If you have a look in here, you've got half a belt.
Oh, that's lovely. That is so comfortable.
It's polishing the oil line just on the oil filter there. That's going to snap at some point. I wouldn't be happy doing 150 miles an hour in this.
You wouldn't?
No.
Super.
With Will's confidence in his car dwindling, we moved on to the exterior.
I have a feeling they took the front apart because it all just seems just kind of not attached.
So the bodywork is rough. It's been hit, dinged, scraped, stone chipped almost everywhere. But I have got vents in my bumpers. We've got a couple of car park dings. That'll be, the kids in the back, the 9 kids in the back, flinging the door open into the trolleys.
Oh, now this is not surprising. I think he was a vape enthusiast.
Also, there's another nice sticker on the back there.
We'll just gloss over that.
Limitless UK.
I don't even know what that means.
I have no limits.
Josh then noticed some of the Zafira's dodgy past.
Why is your door almost touching the front door?
Now, this is one of the reasons Edwin got a really, really good deal on this really, really nice automobile.
It's a great deal.
Why has it got self-closing doors?
Also, it self-closes. This car is a write-off. And supposedly, the reason it was a write-off is that the door was smashed in.
They've not lined it up very well. So if you look closer down in the door gap, the check strap it's not even here. There's just an empty hole where it should be. That one's fine, just going through the right with all your 7 kids. Overall, the body's a lot better than the underside and the engine, which is what you need when you're going fast.
All of this news made Will very ungrateful for his gift. Can I get a thank you for buying you this car, please?
I bought you a car, as you will soon find out, that needs nothing.
I bought you a car with 285 horsepower.
No, you bought me a car that might have 28 horsepower.
It was then the turn of the Crossfire, and Josh was already liking it.
It's a good colour, and it looks a lot less apart than the other one.
That's true. I will give it that.
That is a big old engine bay.
3.2 Mercedes V6. 80% of this car is Mercedes R170 SLK, which is the previous generation SLK.
It's a manual as well.
It is a manual. I will give Will that. He got me a manual.
That is a neat find.
If you had have bought me an automatic, I would have driven to the coast and carried on going.
Ooh, cam cover's a little bit weepy,
I
but
did notice a bit of a squeak. Can I start it up? Is that tensioner?
maybe.
It's all right. I'm sure that wouldn't explode at 150. There is coolant in there, so I'm 1 up on the Zafira already.
Someone's done some brake lines.
New brake lines. I think this is going to be a bit of a theme with this car. Just like everything on it, it's just boring. The whole thing about Crossfire is the worst car in the world. It's not a bad car. It's not anything.
This is the dad's weekend car.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the PT Cruiser's the daily.
I've gone a bit crazy.
This is mental.
Deirdre, I've gone out and I bought a V6 Crossfire.
When we go swinging this weekend, they are going to love the Crossfire. And it got better because the Chrysler had oil in it too. Yeah, halfway up the dipstick. Engine, unremarkable.
It has one, yes, and it all looks complete.
Visual checks completed, we got it in the air, but not before I had a realisation that Edwin should actually love this car.
This is already looking like your M3. 3.2, 6 cylinders, manual, a little fake vent in the
It
side.
does have a fake vent on the side. Here we go, that's a wheel that spins.
It's a wheel that spins.
Is it connected to the suspension? Is it connected to the chassis, sorry? A little bit.
Oh, we've got a knock, I think that's just rack play. But
I don't mind a bit of rack play.
brakes, less lip-on than Will's had. An A+.
An A+, but she's a 1523.
Oh.
That means the 15th week of 2023. That's nice of you, man.
Hey, look,
Did you check that when you looked at it?
Of course.
Oh.
I checked so much.
I appreciate it. I keep
Yeah,
keeping
yeah.
me safe, and I appreciate that. The rears is on the other hand, though.
This thing's not been driven much by the looks of it. It's got a Bridgestone from 2011 on the back. Rears are good. We're following a thing.
I'm on board.
You've got brakes. You don't. No, you're not going to have to change your brakes. You're doing all right.
Well, this is...
It's not terrible,
I
but
mean,
it started to go.
yeah.
I don't think this was a dad's car. It's got an aftermarket back box on it. The rest of the exhaust is
it's just
standard.
standard.
They've just glued the back box on.
It's a long life as well.
Another Bridgestone, which is also cracked. You're going to need some rear tyres.
Okay.
Suspension's tight, and you've still got brakes. That's also a bonus. So the last corner, a matching tyre. At least you've got matching per axle.
I've got matching axles.
So you've got all the grip in the front and none in the back. So,
I like that.
oh, that one's got the same play the other one's got in. So probably lower arms probably, but brakes are good. So yeah, a pair of rear tyres, maybe a couple of ball joints. It's already better than the Zafira.
That's true. I can take a lot of solace in that.
It looked like I was going to get off lightly with only needing 2 new rear tyres, but the moment we got under the car,
Yeah, that's wheel bearing.
I hate wheel bearing. Josh,
Yeah.
would you like to help me do a wheel bearing?
You need to do 2. This one's gone as well.
Would you like to help me do 2 wheel bearings?
Yeah.
He said yes. It's on camera.
You've got a tray fitted, so you might have an engine oil leak, but we don't know.
We don't have an engine oil leak.
Rear main or gearbox is leaking a little bit. Not horrendous though, it's only a weep. I don't know what boxes they put in these.
It's not particularly good.
Is it a Mercedes gearbox? Because they don't have a manual gearbox on this engine. So Chrysler maybe took it upon themselves and went, oh, we got one of those out back.
But then in the supercharged one, they said, we'll put it back to an auto. People love driving, they love autos. They don't want to shift their own gears.
There's no heat shields, they've all gone.
No.
It looks very BMW under here.
Yeah.
Missing the heat shields and just a bit surfacey, but it's all...
Perhaps like an M3.
Prop donor it's looking a tiny bit warm, but no, there's no major cracks. in it or
M3?
anything.
I mean,
There's a bit of play in the centre bearing.
that might need some attention.
There's nothing major, even the back of the arches are solid.
Will, thank you very much.
You are more than welcome.
You're welcome too for your Zafira. I can't show you what Will's doing right now behind the camera.
Once Will had finished flashing obscene gestures, we moved the car outside and checked the bodywork and interior.
The bodywork is fine, other than the fact that it is in the shape of a crossfire. I've discovered something. The incredible American warning that could only be on an American car. Exhaust fume, entry possible when the lift gate is open. May cause personal injury. Fully close the lift gate when the engine is running. See the owner's manual for more information so that it stops some form of Floridian idiot leaving their boot open while they drive and then suing Chrysler for $400 billion, because that's what they all do there.
Does your man flap work?
It does.
Oh,
Hello. Look at it go.
all the downforce.
Determining that the Crossfire could achieve an erection, Josh instantly found out the worst part of the car.
What is this and why does it pop up?
Yes.
Why would you want to cup where your elbow is, especially
Yes.
with a manual?
Yeah, and it will come back up. If you could please put it in reverse.
Oh.
Yeah. We aren't here to talk about the gripes of the car. We're talking about the condition of this example. It's good. It's fine.
It's been loved.
Again, Will's made a good purchase. I'm going to say it. 1,300 quid. It's not a terrible amount of money to pay for a car in this condition.
No.
It's just a terrible amount of money to pay for this car.
No, you've both done very well, I think.
As in, Will's done well to make it here in the Zafira.
Yeah, you're going to die.
Now that at least one of our cars had been given the all clear, we decided to take them to see Charlie from Surrey Rolling Road, who would tell us how much power we were making. And Charlie absolutely loved my Zafira.
What a piece of shit.
Correct. We've just had a look under it and it's awful. I'm really quite scared. But this is meant to be, the previous owner said, his mate's dad built it and it was 285 horsepower. It feels like less.
Yes, I suspect it probably is.
Right, let's see what it does. Oh God.
Your guess?
Standard, 192. In theory, 285, according to a man. I'm going to go with 205.
285 horsepower. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He told me it was 285. It's 285 horsepower.
I'm going to be getting my mop out.
But a number before that happens?
200, maybe.
Ooh, okay.
Guesses made, it was time to find out how much power the Zafira was pushing.
My 200 once,
And then 180
and then 180 the next run.
So someone has forged the engine, fitted a bigger turbo and whatever else they've done to gain less than they probably would have got from a remap standard.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake! You bought me this, you stupid man! Oh, for God's sake! I'm not even going to crack 130 with that.
Yeah, you can hit the standard top speed. You can hit 137.
No, I won't, because then if I do another run, I'll have less power.
Yeah, you got to make that first run count on the Autobahn.
If a lorry gets in my way, I'm just going to hit it. I can't afford a second run.
Will over the moon with his results. We got the American muscle strapped down for its turn.
First, the noble steed, but secondly, a guess on power. 215 standard, right, Will?
Yep. 215?
I'm the same. I think it will do bang on what it made. Will?
230.
230?
Don't know, I just feel fruity today.
You feel or the
I
car
feel,
feels?
me and the car.
Okay.
Me and the car.
He absolutely loves it.
Charlie wasn't loving it. In fact, there was quite a big issue.
Yeah, there you go.
Despite turning off the traction control, the Crossfire was very confused as to why its rear wheels were spinning but the fronts weren't, so traction control was still kicking in. We looked online, which told us that we needed to pull a fuse to disable the traction control completely.
This is why BMW over Mercedes. BMW, click a button, do whatever you want, mate. If you want to put it in a hedge upside down, more power to you. Mercedes, okay, so what you're going to do is you need to go into the engine and disable the fuses from the box which is under the battery. Why? Let me turn it off. Let me do skids.
Fuse pulled and the nannying German Mercedes traction control permanently disabled, we went for another run.
It appears that the Chrysler cross-stitch
Doesn't like the dyno.
doesn't like the dyno, gets its speed reading off the front wheels. Unlike all the Mercedes, which have a dyno mode, this doesn't seem to have a dyno mode. We've tried pulling the fuses, but it puts into limp mode because the ECU is not seeing a speed reading
From the front wheels.
From the front wheels. So my dyno is sadly inadequate
Right.
for this car. If the viewers at home have tips on how you can run these,
Yeah, let us
Don't-
know, we'll come back.
don't send them in because I don't give a shit.
Oh, sorry, don't do that.
We can, from the limited data we have, extrapolate. We assume that this probably makes peak power about 5.5, 5.7, something like that. I would suggest we're probably around the 208, 209 mark.
So I win, Will. So, you know,
Yeah, but if we're going on theory and guesses alone, I'm running 285.
with science, you have to push the boundaries, and I think I win. Thank you, Charlie, for dealing with our shit heaps, as always, and for letting us know what it's running. We're going to go and do drag race now. See you at the strip, buddy.
Right, we are here at Santa Pod. In about 5 minutes, we're going to go and get in the queue and see what sort of times we do. But I've just seen that guy over there doing some tyre pressures. So, like, what tyre pressures are you going to run?
Tesco's Air.
Okay, yeah, I'm just running, the same air that I bought it with.
Confident we were fully prepped for a day at the strip, we got in our lanes to find out who had the fastest car.
This car is so horribly nannied by electronics that even with the traction control off, and I've turned it off as far as it can be, it will still not let me spin the tyres. So I'm just going to rev it to basically redline and drop the clutch and see what happens. Here we go, Will, asking us to do a test launch.
Don't mind if I do. Come on, Zafira, this is your time. This is the time not to be broken. This is your time not to die. Be fast. Think speed. Let's get that full 285 horsepower going. I know it's in there. The Facebook ad said so.
That's all right, that'll do. Oh, we're on the strip, here we go. It's the first time I've ever been on a drag strip. Waiting for the second light to pop up. Here we go, there's my stage. Oh, we're off, we've got Will on the launch. Oh, he's off. He's still there though. My cup holder's, oh no, it's cutting out. Cup holder.
Oh no, I've been beaten by a crossfire, man.
Oh, we've done him. We've absolutely done Will there.
Oh, you are joking me! I have just lost to a crossfire in a drag race.
That's a win for the Crossfire, a win for America and Germany.
Today, we've got £250 each to modify them and get them ready to attempt to hit 150 miles an hour in the next episode.
I'll be honest, I'm at a bit of a loss what to do here because there's nothing to do to a Crossfire. The wheels are staggered, so they're stupid fitment. You can't get good aftermarket wheels for them. Engines, you can't do anything to them. You can't remap the standard engine because there's no power. You can't put the supercharger from the SRT6 on it. What am I going to do to the outside of it? Put a grill on it?
So when I first drove the Zafira, I realised it's got a horrible issue where the boost breaks up and it misfires, and I've had an engine light, and it just runs generally like crap. My first port of call is some spark plugs and a coil pack. I think that might fix it, and that might gain me some horsepower back. GSI VXR spark plugs, 4 of them, £48. A Bosch coil pack, Bosch. That'll do me, £85.
The only thing that I know I want to do as part of this episode is remove weight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the stupid cup holder. That's the first thing to go.
So the other obvious issue with the Zafira is the clicking from the right hand side, which I think a drive shaft is probably going to fix that. So here we have a drive shaft on eBay for £50.
What I know that I need is 2 front wheel bearings. That's what Josh told me about. £12 from Napa. That's American. What next? We need a centre support bearing. £22.34. We're in like 50 quid so far.
One thing I really don't need is cosmetic items, but what I think this needs, this is key for any Vauxhall owner, is some Ford Focus RS vents. Look at any modified Astra, Zafira, Vectra. If they know what they're doing, they've got Focus vents on there, and that's exactly what I found on here for £15. And he's only down the road, so I'm just gonna go and give him money and take them. Because that, cut into the bonnet, get some heat out, get some power going. That's what I need.
You know what I'd rather do? I'd rather give Will the rest of my budget to make the Zafira cooler than spend any more money on this. Actually, that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy 2 rear tyres, which I need, and anything left over, I'm going to give to Will, because I'd rather see his car more modified than any more money be spent on this thing. Could go with the Pilot Sport 5s. Those are good tyres, we could go with them. But what I'm leaning towards is the Super Value 255. They're nice tyres.
We're on the tinnies. My first mods are not really mods for the Zafira, they're kind of maintenance. I've got a coil pack and some spark plugs, because this thing runs like ass.
It really does.
Oh, there we go, that's off.
Why is it covered in...
That's Vauxhall owner fluids.
What is that? Is that paint? Why is it covered in paint? What is that?
Now Edwin was suitably covered in the mystery Vauxhall juice, I remembered something we'd discovered about the Zafira.
This car, we had a look when we got the V5 through, has 14 previous owners. Do you know how many people that is? That's over 10.
That's 14. Oh,
We've got a Bosch spark plug, which I don't think is a bad thing, but we're going with the NGK. It looks okay.
Oh, she's oily, lad.
perhaps we found a little bit more soot in that one. Also, the oil's on that side, so it's valve cover gasket.
But I have to stress, this is a freshly built engine.
Exactly.
So it's not possible.
Having determined that maybe the coil pack and spark plugs were likely affecting the Zafira's performance, we got the replacement parts fitted.
That's a spark plug.
Meanwhile, I was outside with the Crossfire because, as many of you commented last week, it actually has adjustable front wheel bearings. So Josh and I jacked the car up and tightened them to remove some of the play, and by the time I was done, Will was ready to test the Zafira with its fresh new parts.
These were £80 for the coil pack and £42 for the spark plugs. So that's actually quite cheap for maybe 85 horsepower.
85 horsepower, that's the cheapest 85 horsepower you'll ever have. But at the same time, you're not going to get any more of those horsepower. That's actually smoother than it was.
Ah, we've got to test it. It needs a road test.
Oh well, I'm one of the Zafira children. Which mum am I from?
I don't know, can't remember. Come on, you big bastard.
I tell you what, I've gained horsepower.
That's horsepower. Who would have thought basic maintenance would fix a car?
Zafira's engine running much better, it was time to tackle the very limited list of Crossfire modifications, and Edwin was particularly excited.
It's time to work on the best car ever. I called up 4 remat places and they all said, don't bother. Genuinely, they didn't want the money. Think about that. A company that could have £200-300 for free said, I wouldn't bother. How shit are these things, man? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna weigh it, see if we can pull some weight out of it, and then put some new tyres on the rear, because don't wanna do 150 on bold tyres. I'm gonna do my best William Chandler impression. Rear left, cool. Consider that the front right.
You.
Edwin spoke too soon, as literally seconds later,
He put the labels on the wrong way around.
Ah, just like when I did it then.
Yeah, you know what, Will, it can happen to the best of us,
It
mate.
can, it can.
You know what, maybe I treated you too harshly.
Online, the weight says it should be somewhere between 1377 and 1410. I'm assuming this is the lightest Crossfire you can get.
Yeah, because coupe manual.
I'm going to say it starts 14.
I would say the same. Here we go, we're gonna turn them on. That is a 1360. That's light. We are already a Crossfire Superleggera. If I can take 25 kilos out, that'd be good. This car passed an MOT like this. That might have more crack showing than I do when I'm on camera. I went down a drag strip with these, Will.
Yeah,
You'd be liable for my death.
Nah, I wouldn't have thought so. Also, sorry, I went down there with 4 wheel bolts in one side and a clicky drive shaft.
You chose to drive that car knowing that. Off we go to the tyre shop.
While the Crossfire had tyres that were less likely to kill me fitted, we got on with fixing the Zafira's old broken drive shaft.
Right, about to wind my nut off. You do my nutting.
There you go.
I'm going to get my arm in there and give it one.
Go on, give her one for me, son.
Oh, there he is.
Here we go, Will. I'll guide you in, son. Yeah, there you go, we're in.
Slot her in. The gun just rounded up the edges ever so slightly.
Will, the position you're in currently is not the one of someone doing lots of car work.
Car work is bullshit.
Love it. Well, you have to choose what sort of person you are. Do you go through and bend over and around? Are you someone that goes through sideways and wraps around left and right?
Up and around.
Oh, I like it, because that's who I am as well. I'm that man.
All the way through, like him there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little end, and then I'm going to come around, because what goes around?
Does it come around?
It has to come around. There he is.
There we go. This is neat, Will. I'm liking this. Will then went out to test if the clicking driveshaft noise had been fixed, which went well.
What's going on?
The driveshaft's fixed, but the bumper perhaps not.
That's what that noise was. Okay, but it is fixed though. I'm ready to boosting.
Zafira fixed and ready for mods, Edwin pulled as much weight out of the Crossfire as possible, starting with the most important bit.
That guy right there, number 1 weight reduction. If you own a Crossfire, do that mod. Is this necessary? No. You know, this car probably can do 150 miles an hour as standard. I just want to do something to it. If there's less of it in here, I might like it more. Oh, whoa, sorry mate, didn't know you were there. Oh wait, there's something in there. I'm not happy. I hope this is clean.
Oh, I did know about that.
When you're done dogging, there's messes to clean up. We don't need that where we're going. Okay, well I've taken the seat out. I might take some carpet out the boot, but that's about it. This car's making me sad. Oh! That's the whole boot stripped. I'm happy with that. We've probably saved a couple kilos doing that. Unfortunately, this is going to be very anticlimactic. 1319.
40 kilos.
40 kilos. I'm a Superleggera Crossfire. You're done. There's nothing you could do to your car that's going to make it as quick as this.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
And we would see about that because Will had bought bonnet vents that would surely increase his top speed, and it was time to fit them.
This is actually coming back to your roots.
I've had many cars with these on, but I've never actually fitted them. So this is a first. Well, they're actually replicas of, but they are vents from a Focus RS Mark II. If you've got one of those, you're respected.
Exactly.
Not by this guy.
No.
Not by this guy.
You're fighting with that guy.
Yeah, Vauxhall people still like to put them on their cars. I have got a theory on this though.
Okay.
Heat.
That's great. And back to the studio.
But I'm going to be there 140 miles an hour.
Turbo's here.
And I'm needing that extra little. Yeah. And then these vents heat out.
Get them out.
And then the car's going.
Sucking it in.
And then it's going to give me more power. Now, realistically, you should measure this, probably. You should go, is it central? Are they going to be level? It's going to happen by eye, Ben. That's about right. Ben, no?
What?
Vent location precisely marked out, we were ready to cut. But before that, we made Will take all of the necessary health and safety precautions.
Kind of scared, if I'm being honest with you.
Just the key is have fun.
Whoa!
Did he bite you?
Just scolded me. Oh, it's too late now. What is a man to do in this situation other than wear gloves?
Listen, it's the age-old question. When a man's cutting into a bonnet, what gloves does he wear? Oh man, catalytic converter thieves are getting out of hand.
Bob the Builder's changed profession. I don't value my penis at all. Actually, my penis feels like it's about to fall out. I can't see a thing. Well, that's what Pompeii was like. That was mental. I was in hyperspace for a moment there.
Yeah, that's clean work, Will.
Ow, bitch, mother.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's a different line. I need that though.
well, not really.
I'm not cutting it off.
You're not cutting that off. There you go. This is lethal, Will. What you've created here. That is, I've never seen such a sharp object in my life.
In he goes.
Hello. And the method for holding it down?
Double-sided tape. Look at that. That looks good.
That is looking OEM Zafira.
Vauxhall owners are going to be looking at this and saying, that looks good.
First vent looking fantastic. We prepped the car for the second one.
That's rubbish. That's crazy. That's wild. Look at the hole and look at where I drew.
You know what? I'll give it to you. That is actually fine.
Right, rip the tape off, get her stuck. Oh no. Oh no!
Will, you're fine. Don't panic.
I think it's
Look at it go, Will. You are a genuine Zafira owner now.
Get the Stellas going, boys. The left one's wonky.
That's fine. It's a modification.
I could barely tell. I'd never know that was wonky.
Hey, still rather be in it than a Crossfire.
The vents were in and looking good, and as I'd given Will my remaining budget, he was able to bring the car down to TRS Performance to see if they could sort out its engine software and hopefully get it consistently running at its current peak power of 200 horsepower. Before that though, the guys wanted to do a smoke test on the engine to check that there weren't any air leaks and that the Zafira wasn't going to explode all over their dyno.
It seems to be airtight.
That's ridiculous.
Shocking.
Surprised.
That's impressive.
You've got an airtight Zafira GSI.
This car's getting healthier and healthier.
It genuinely is.
Smoke test passed with flying colours. We got the Zafira inside, ready to get its map sorted out.
Right, so Ned is in the Zafira now. He's going to get a baseline run and see how bad the current map is. We might get an improvement on what we got at Surrey Rolling Road, so let's see. That was healthy, no breaking up. We don't know what the map is like, but that sounded good.
Are you going to ask them to put some pops and bangs on it?
I should, but we'll see, we'll see.
It was a genuine look of confusion.
Yeah, it's such a great car, I love it. It's amazing.
Very strange, kind of ties in with what you said happened on the other dyno. First run made 170 wheel horsepower, second run 158. Turn the ignition off, turn it back on again, back up to 170 horsepower, do another run, 158 again.
So this is a literal case of if you tried turning it off and on again,
Yes, pretty much.
and it fixes it.
But you have to do it while you're running.
We then headed upstairs to look over our current dodgy map, and the guys immediately found something quite interesting.
It limits your maximum boost pressure. As stock, it's got a nice curve to it all, and it brings down the maximum boost as the RPMs increases, but they've modified it a bit crazy. Luckily, it hasn't really affected it, so they've actually got away with it.
So by sheer luck, we haven't blown
By
this car
sheer
up.
luck.
This is someone backyard tuning.
Yeah.
It's not a professional map.
No.
The guys cleaned up our map, which made it safe again, and also added a little treat for Will.
I've also added some pops and bangs and overrun to it.
Now we're talking. We're in Zafira territory now. I wasn't going to ask, but...
How well does it run? Don't care. Pops and bangs.
And then I've added fuel as well, so you might even get some flames out of it if it's decatted.
You're speaking my language. This is excellent.
I know what you want, Will. I know what you want.
We headed back downstairs to test out the new map. But first, Edwin had an important question.
Is this one of the most baffling cars you've had?
I've never seen a car so inconsistent.
I'm going to call it the mystery machine. What's wrong with it? It's a mystery. How much power is it running?
Let's split up and look for clues.
It was time to test out the TRS map, and we were pretty happy straight off the bat.
Jesus! That's perfect. That is absolutely spot on. It sounds faster now.
You are now a Zafira owner.
Thank you very much. Oh, that is amazing!
The pops and bangs were great, but just as the guys were ready to start increasing the boost to make more power, they ran into a pretty big problem. No matter how much boost the guys asked for from the turbo, it wouldn't make any more.
What's going on, Will?
Just waiting for the diagnosis, but it's not good.
It's not looking good, bro.
It's not good. It's not looking. It's not sounding. Well, actually, it's sounding better.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Sounds
But your
fast.
power, He's not there. It's the same.
The issue was quickly discovered. The solenoid that tells the turbo how much boost to make was broken, so we couldn't increase the turbo's power at all. On top of that, the spring, which physically controls the amount of boost, was so weak that it would open up too early, even if we had been able to demand more power.
The guys worked their magic though, and after much testing and many hours, we were left with a Zafira that was running much better than the one that pulled in earlier that day. And even more importantly, it shot huge flames.
Oh my goodness gracious! I just shit my pants.
The car was done, and despite not really having a power difference, the guys at TRS had managed to get it running consistently at 200 horsepower, so we were thrilled.
Happy with those well? Great success. Very happy.
Your car's got problems, as to kind of be expected, I guess.
Surely not.
First off, the boost control solenoid seems to have some weird stuff going on. Explains why earlier, sometimes if I turn the car off and turn it back on, it would energise that solenoid just a bit, so it would work and then not work again. The map that's on it is now safe. We've removed those anomalies, and you've got pops and bangs for all your friends in McDonald's car park.
That is what I'm most pleased about. And maybe that one bang will be what sends me to 150, maybe 130, we don't know yet. But a massive thank you to the guys at TRS Performance. We'll put links in the description below. Check them out on Instagram as well. Obviously, old Zafira is not what they usually do. We keep bringing them old chitters, but it's Ford, VAG, BMW, that's what you specialise in, mapping, that kind of stuff.
Please bring us good cars next time.
Yeah, we're just not going to come back.
The only thing left to do was switch cars and see what we were about to each attempt to take to 150 mile an hour in just a day's time.
Right, so what has Will done? Firstly, he fixed the dangerous tyres up front. That was a worthwhile fix because already I can feel there's actually a bit of grip now. He's also tightened up those top mounts that were just loose, so the car is now safe on that front.
And this is the first time I've been out in the Crossfire since I lovingly purchased this for Edwin. And what he's done is he's ruined it. What I bought him is a ready-made 150 mile an hour car that is comfortable, quiet, and what he's turned it into is this clattery, empty, noisy thing.
Let's be completely honest. You saw the reaction on Will's face in that first episode when I pulled up in this. This car is a bit of Will, and he loves it. And to be fair, so do I. I love this awful, awful car.
For f***'s sake.
Listen to this.
So I do feel quite bad. I have bought Edwin a car that he can't really modify, and yes, I know Edwin does like to modify stuff, but again, I've been nice. He hasn't got to do anything. It's done, sorted. I mean, what do you do to a Crossfire other than sell it and buy something else?
We have to go to Germany tomorrow morning. That's it. We're out of budget, we're out of time, no matter what. I believe our crew car driver for Ben to go with as well is sick. So we can't use him, which means Ben's gonna have to ride with us, which I think means I'm gonna have to put my seat back in the Crossfire and lose out on some of the weight that we lost. I'm not particularly happy about that. This is faster now. This is faster than the Crossfire. Just from TRS cleaning up that awful map where it was breaking up and knocking under boost, so much faster. Unfortunately, I think I'm in trouble now.
He's got new tyres on the back. I wouldn't have wanted to do 60 mile an hour on the tyres he had before. They were cracked, they were old, they were Bridgestones, but something like that lets go at high speed, you are dead. And if you die in a Crossfire, it's not even sad, it's just disappointing.
I think there's a world in which this car needs to stay around no matter what happens in Germany, and we have to turn this up to 400 or 500 horsepower. That would be a little bit mental.
Mods haven't been
Not particularly successful.
not particularly successful.
But the Zafira's got pops and bangs, so everyone wins.
And it runs a bit better now. I'll be honest, the Crossfire feels worse.
It's worse,
than when
isn't
I
it?
bought
Yeah, it's worse.
It's noisier. Oh, so you need to put your seat back
I need
in.
to put my seat back in for Ben. Great.
We're headed to a road with no speed limit to see if our cars will do 150 mile an hour.
We're in England and we need to get to the de-restricted Autobahn in Germany, so that means heading to the English Channel to catch a ferry over to France.
We left for the ferry early that morning and everything was going smoothly. But as soon as we touched down in France, Edwin's hideous Crossfire developed an issue.
Who would have thought that the first problem on this trip so far would be the Crossfire, not the Zafira? I've got a bit of a wheel wobble on. I don't like that. Also, to go straight, I am, call it 10:45 PM. I don't like that. That's not nice. So I think I'm going to need to pull over, jack up the car, because I did bring a little jack, see what something's saying, because I don't like this.
So minutes later, just as we arrived in Belgium, we pulled over.
I asked Will to come in behind and assess my rear, and he said, "You're a bit wobbly, mate. Just got to jack this guy up, see if it's the wheel to the car, if it's the car to the car, or if it's myself impaling myself down the French road." This is ridiculous. What sort of machine is this?
You get it? Whoa.
Yeah, go ahead, Will. No, you teach me, mate. Here we go.
I'm gonna send this guy into space.
Have you given up?
I had it. I had the
You
right
really did. You
way,
had
and
him.
I can't find it.
You
again.
had him locked in, and now you don't.
How's your car?
Great. Actually, really good. I found cruise control. On the end of my indicator stalk, there is a button. I pressed it. I mean, it might not be cruise control. I might have a short circuit in my indicator somewhere, but that's cruise control. I'm pleased with that.
I mean, they're all fine. They're all on. That's all fine. That one's good. After I'd checked all the wheel bolts, which seemed fine, I noticed a slight issue with one of the front tyres. Well, that might be why. That's a very low tyre. The worrying thing is that it wasn't a low tyre this morning, so can I get a PSI guess?
I'm going to say you're at 20.
12.
That's not a lot.
That's not much, mate. What we'll do, pump it up, drive to Germany, and then before we do a run, we'll check it, because if it's losing air, don't like that. Tyres now correctly inflated, we got back on the road. But before that, Will needed to have an in-depth check on the Zafira's engine. Yep, engine. Let's go. So my steering wheel, that issue is fixed. We've got no more wobble from the steering wheel, so our front half is fine. But I can definitely feel while we're driving a shake from the rear. What that is, I don't know yet. I think it might be a strut, because Will says he can see a tiny wobble from the rear wheel, but that is not confidence inspiring to do high speeds on. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it and see what happens, because on one hand, I'm not losing to Will. I'm not going less than a car that can only do 137 anyway. He can't even do 150. But on the other hand, I would like to make it home to my family. So we got to weigh up the options. With the noise seemingly fixed for now, we moved deeper into Belgium, but when we stopped for lunch and Will went to the toilet, I decided to mess with his Zafira. Right, so what I've told Will is that I'm going to put our UK stickers on, because when you drive in Europe in an English car, you need to have one of these stickers on the back of your car, and we are going to do that. But I might have bought a couple extra stickers for his car too. Right, first things first, my UK sticker. That'll do. Oh, I got an air bubble in it. Oh, quite a lot of air bubbles. Oh, wow, shoddy workmanship. Right here on the window is going to be one of the most important stickers. That is perfect. I love it. Ben, would you like to have a lucky dip of one of the stickers, please?
I know which one I want.
What's that one? Okay, this one's a good one. Ready? I like this one a lot. This one is one of my favourites. Just something like that. There, I like that one.
I think that one has to go better, GS like that.
Of course. Ben,
direct-
I think we're thinking the same thing, mate. We could be coming up with a new model now. We've got a nice little one, which I think we're going to do. We'll just do a little teaser on this side. Got one final one. This is perfect. That is fantastic. I couldn't wish for anything more. He's going to love it. Luckily, Will got straight into the car and didn't have time to check out his new additions, so we got back on the road where the stickers continued to be a good source of entertainment for me. It's perfect. It's better than I could have ever imagined.
It was at that point that the Zafira decided it was its turn to break down.
Oh. That's not good. I have no throttle. I just completely lost throttle then. The car just cut out under boost and I had no throttle. I just had to restart it while I was driving.
Uh-oh. Is it the car turned off?
Yeah, just completely went off. It just cut out and then throttle wouldn't work at all.
That's less than helpful. Should we pull over and have a look at that quickly?
Yes, I think that might be best.
Uh-oh. If this Zafira dies, there's only 2 seats in this car, and Ben's in the other one. So Will's walking home. Uh-oh.
Gave some beans to go and change gear. It just went... and the car just cut out, and I had no revs, and then I thought, okay, I'll just build it back up again. No accelerator pedal, no throttle, no anything.
It said, I hear what you're saying, keep it.
It's a great suggestion, the throttle pedal, but I don't know what that is.
Right now, couldn't tell you.
As I was driving, I was in like 60, 70, and I just turned it off and on, standard IT move, and it worked.
Oh, and now it's back.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to see under here, but
Nothing looks particularly bad. Your belt is still rubbing on that thing.
it's still there.
It's still there. That's all you can ask for. I can't see anything wrong with it.
It feels, yeah, it's some kind of electrical gremlin, perhaps. I mean, it's curable. I just turn it off and on again, but it's not
Yeah,
ideal.
but not ideal if we're doing 150. If you're at like 140 and your engine goes like this, it goes. We don't want that.
Well, there's nothing I can do, is there?
There's nothing you can do. I mean, all you can do is pray that the speed tape holds up.
Will then went inside to go to the toilet, and when he came back out, he noticed his new stickers.
I can see the back of my car. What? Oh, you're joking me. You're joking. No, wait, hang on. When I got overtaken earlier, I got a very angry bib. I thought, oh, maybe it's because he wanted me to move over. No, it's because of that.
Oh, sorry! Do you like them?
This one's great, actually. Where's Mum?
Mum's not in the picture, Will.
This, though, yeah, I'm going to get stabbed to death, you know that. We've literally just come through Europe.
But it's no longer the Zafira GSI, it's the Brexit GSI.
God's sake.
I tell you this to the camera, I promise on my life Will has never seen these stickers before. That's genuine, he didn't see them. He didn't know about them, he didn't know I put them on.
I actually have a sticker for you, but it doesn't matter now because it's not as bad. Your sticker's actually quite good. It's actually quite helpful. It could be quite jolly and fun for you.
Oh.
I'm going to get stabbed. You're going to get off with my sticker.
Uh-oh. Yeah, okay.
You can put that one wherever you like. So an upside down pineapple means you are interested in activities with other, you know, those kind of folk. Edwin might have some fun tonight. I'm going to get stabbed in the head.
No! No.
Sorry, if you can actually make out what that says
Sports Mind sticker.
Powered by AMG Performance, because this is, of course, this is the AMG engine, right?
Oh my God. For context, people put Sports Mind sticker on everything. And it usually says, Sports Mind powered by sports. It's just a generic sticker and I hate them so much. No.
That's just lovely. Americans in the UK love this. Goddamn small engines. I've got a tiny engine there. Only milk and juice come in 2 litres.
No. That is what you call American muscle.
You've come off better here.
No, I was about to say, I genuinely think, for me, that's more embarrassing than those.
You're going to have sweaty old men knocking on your hotel door tonight. I'm going to have 7 German men.
So, I think we're up to the same stuff.
The guy across the hall, we just kicked his head in. Also, unless your car is a 15-litre tank.
Yeah, don't put this on.
Let's not.
I absolutely hate this.
Oh, dear, look at that.
You know, it's much funnier when it was just your car.
Yeah, but this is in light-heartedness. Mine is going to get me killed. I have to go through 3 European countries.
Whatever happens, if I roll over in a car crash and die, I'll die happy. For God's sake! Will, you absolute bastard. When my spoiler comes up now, all I can see in my rearview mirror is a reversed only milk and juice come in 2 litres.
Oh no, that's a shame. That's obviously way worse than the awful things that I've got on mine. I feel really bad. With Edwin over the moon with his new modifications and the Zafira now seemingly running okay again, we made some progress deeper into Belgium. But as we reached Antwerp, we hit some nasty traffic, which the Zafira wasn't a fan of. I am overheating. I just got a little message from Edwin. I was in traffic there and it was smoking. Holy moly!
Antwerp will do that to a man.
Sometimes you just got to let off a bit of steam.
Sometimes you get a bit pent up and you go, ah!
At least we haven't got another 25 minutes of traffic.
Oh,
to
much
get
more
through.
than that, yeah, a bit more than that. So I think what's going to happen now is we wait here until that calms down.
Can I come with you?
Ben, please feel free
Let's
to jump
go.
in, mate.
Cheers, Will!
Look, that's what happened to the last YouTubers that pulled over here.
Wow, that's mash!
Are you feeling good about your 150 mile an hour run?
It's so lovely because Edwin has bought me such a lovely gift. But I like this spot. It's just nice.
We waited for the Zafira to cool down and then got back on the road, with Will carefully monitoring its temp gauge.
Right, so update. The Zafira has overheated in traffic. We've let it cool down and we're going to see if we can get through it, because currently we are in Antwerp, which is statistically the worst place in the world ever if you'd like to make progress in a motor vehicle. I've driven here hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. I've never not sat in traffic, and his car can't handle that.
Right, so yes, it did overheat. We let it cool down. We've topped it up with water now. It's holding that coolant for now, but we do have lots more traffic to go. So I'm just going to start it, drive as fast as I possibly can, and try and keep it cool. I'm going to try and turn the engine off as much as I can while I'm in traffic, get some momentum up, roll like this.
How's it doing, Will? What's the coolant temp saying?
Excellent right now. The engine is off. I'm in hybrid mode.
We have actually got a nice little hill all the way into the tunnel here, but you tell me when you want a little push, and maybe I'll give you a push.
That might be very, very useful. Thank you.
You know, just got all the torque from my V6 motor I can push you in.
A little nudge away from here when we move would be useful. That would save me a little bit of engine.
Absolutely, I've got you. This is great. This works.
This is excellent.
Why haven't we been doing this the whole time? This is incredible. Here you go. Off you go, mate. There you go.
That was wonderful. Thank you very much. See you.
This is great. The only thing I am thinking is that it is ruining my airflow. So I might start overheating in a minute, in which case we'll need to swap and then you can push me for a bit.
You scratch my back, I will scratch yours.
Into the Gotthard tunnel we go. No sides to break down, no places to pull in. So we've got to hope that we just make it through here now. And I promise you, despite what's happening, Will is still going to do a pull and a pop and bang in this tunnel. I guarantee it with my life that it happens. Just you watch. Jesus Christ.
Now we'd cleared the mind-numbing Antwerp traffic, the Zafira was much happier. So we pushed on ahead out of Belgium, briefly through the Netherlands, and arrived just into Germany, where it was finally time to see if our tired old cars were able to hit the magic 150 mile an hour.
William, I believe we are now in de-restricted territory. Would you like to see what our cars can do?
Yes, see you at 150, bitch.
Will's with me.
Okay, roughly 120 I think that was so far.
Go on, Crossfire. Come on.
Come on.
130. 7. 8. I'm letting off there. I've got a bit of wheel wobble. I don't like it. For now, that's all I'm looking at. 140. Can I get a speed check, Will?
I have a 137 miles an hour.
The exact original top speed of the car. Now, did it feel like it could do more, or is that all it's got?
There's at least 13 miles an hour in that for sure.
You think you've got the 150?
I will need all of the luck in the world, I think. I need a big downhill and a very open stretch.
Well, I still feel like I have a bit of a wheel wobble and I don't like it. So I got out of it at 140 is the last number I saw. It's getting dark, so I think we head back to the hotel. I'm gonna do some work on the car and then in the morning we have one more attempt because one of us has got to hit 150, surely.
So we hadn't hit 150 mile an hour yet, but we did realise that almost half of you watching have forgotten to subscribe. So if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to ensure that you see every future TDC video.
That night, after Will had gone to bed, I spent a while diagnosing my wheel wobble and tightening up as many bolts as I could find, ready for the morning's fresh top speed attempt. We got up at 5 AM the next morning to try and beat the morning traffic, but when I arrived at my Crossfire, I discovered that Will had vandalised it in the night. Worse than that though, he'd vandalised himself.
Good morning.
You wearing? That explains, yeah.
You seen them?
Yeah, I have. I was perplexed, but that is the complete look.
I had to do something to get 140. That's my target for today. And this is it. But I've got something for you as well. I'll admit it's not actually Chrysler branded, but it was the closest thing I could find.
You know what? I'm now streamlined to 150.
The car is warm, the wheels and the tyres and the pressures have all been checked. We're on for it this morning. I feel the power of America is with me, and Germany, both of them together, working in harmony. On to the Autobahn we go. My repairs last night have immeasurably improved this already. It is already feeling much more smooth.
It was time for our second 150 mile an hour attempt, although there was a problem. Despite it only being 6:30 a.m, the roads were already busier than they were the night before, which made our attempts very tricky.
Come on, Crossfire. Oh, it's looking busy.
Oh, it's just too much traffic.
100. Traffic.
It's not happening. I really want to beat 137 miles an hour.
I can feel it. It has it in it. It can do it. Let's go. This might be the only clean run we get. Go on. 35. No, we've got traffic. Oh, no.
I don't think we're going to get a run in here.
Don't know that we're going to get anything here.
I cannot believe it.
After a while, a small stretch of road cleared, and it was our chance to give it a proper go.
Will's behind me. He's got a run on me.
120. I'm going to need Edwin to move.
120. I'm going to move over for Will.
We're going. We're going. We're going.
Come on, little Crossfire.
Come on. Come on.
Come on. This is it.
It's a downhill.
This is it. 140.
Come on. That's almost 140.
142. 3, 4.
That's 140. Yeah.
No, we've got traffic. No.
I think a little bit of slipstreaming and a big downhill, and I cracked 140. There it is.
Talk to me. What was that?
I cracked 140 miles an hour.
Yes! I told you it was not a 137 mile an hour car. It is a 140 mile an hour car.
And your speed?
I got to 144.
Ooh.
I'm more than 100% sure that it will do the 150. It just needs a run.
All this excitement quickly faded though, as just moments later, the Zafira developed quite a big problem.
Cool, that's just cut out. And again. Please, please. Oh, he's got again!
But then it got much worse.
I am just rolling now. I am just powered by gravity alone. I'm just going to pull into a truck stop or a lay-by or something and see if this will start again.
The news wasn't good.
Ah. Hello. Will, what happened, mate? We were just on a motorway over there. Now we're in someone's back garden.
I thought, maybe one more run before the traffic and it cut out, and now it's just dead.
What, nothing?
Nothing. Did you get 150 mile an hour?
I got 144.
No.
So there's too much traffic now to do it.
Yeah. So £1,500, 150 mile an hour, it's not possible.
You can't buy it. You cannot do 150 mile an hour.
140? Not a problem. Not a problem at all.